you won't believe. As a doctor, you will not believe.
Right. But CT guided, right? CT guided करेंगे.
Sonic. Ultrasonic.
Right. Ultrasonic.
Legma to no, you don't need legma. It's a direct they do it.
He doesn't make any incision or કાપ કે એવું કઈ નહીં મૂકે.
No injection. Okay, પછીથી વાત કરશો.
Okay, જય સચ્ચિદાનંદ.
कि ये जो है मतलब भगवान को कबाड़ी ने लिखा था.
Jai Satchidanand Kashyap, just hold on, okay?
હવે ભગવાનને સંભાળવું એટલે તમે શું સમજો?
Just hold on, Kashyap. એક જ મિનિટ પુલિનાનજી. Okay, Pulinanji, Trimantra, please recite Trimantra.
Namo Vitragay.
Namo Vitragay.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo
Ayariyanam.
Namo Vasayanam.
Namo Vasayanam.
Namo Loe Savasahunam.
Namo Loe Savasahunam.
Eso Panchana Mukaro.
Eso
Saubhavapanasano.
Saubhavapanasano.
Mangalanancha Sabvesim.
Mangalanam Vesim.
Paramam Havai Mangalam.
Paramam Havai Mangalam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchit.
Yes.
Jai Satchidanand Mahatma. We are meeting after about 3 weeks. Last time we left at working on separation. So, okay, Kashyap bhai.
Yes, Jai Sachidan, Jai Sachidan, Rajni ji, Sachidan
Jai
Pulinanandji.
Satchidanand.
Yes, I have one request. Aputras, they work very hard to bring us this satsang and the WhatsApp. But one thing is that if I want to, revert to what Aputras has said to me and search it, it is not easily searchable. So, so I would request that if it is possible that we do some from some book, that which is already given, we do this reading, and in the reading, along with that, in the video we also mentioned, like for example, essence of religion or something, which has English also translation. We read some, and we also mention it in the video. So it will be easily searchable. So I can revert back, what is this page, or something I didn't understand, I can understand again and go to the video. And otherwise it is texting for the Aptaputra as well, to say again the same things, which may have explained, and I might not have understood at that time. My understanding may not be proper at that time, or due to some reason. So I might have to revert. So, but it is not easily searchable. So this is my request, if it is possible.
I don't know.
I didn't understand. What I've understood is that he wants it to be again easily searchable.
Brian.
So, whatever satsangs have taken place on YouTube, if a description of that is there in that bottom, so that when someone wants to search again, then he can search that this topic.
It should, like Brian type, like reading from the book and mentioning the pages which have been discussed in that video.
But when? On Zoom?
Yeah, like Brian type reading that.
Yeah, but where? On Zoom?
Yes. Like, for example, we mentioned that essence of religion we are discussing. So this is the book. So page 1 to 5, we are discussing. So like that, we can easily cross-reference and easily searchable it will be. Otherwise, it's not easily searchable.
That we have to see. That is a different format altogether. Looking at reading from the book, we did bit of Parayan in the previous Shibir.
Like we do in the Parayan, that same thing. Whatever.
Yes, but we did that. We did that experiment in that Shibir, 5-day Shibir, somewhere in 23 December, I think. And that was there. Different topics we did reading and then satsangs on those topics. So far, that format has not been followed on Zoom. Zoom generally goes free flowing. So let us see. Because that type of thing, we just the Shibir right now.
Maybe along with the reading, if
at least let me finish. Kashyap bhai, have the patience to listen.
Yes.
Have the patience to listen.
Yes.
So we did that type of reading, and we did that focused topic-wise discussion in the Shibir. So the entire 9 columns were brought out very well, and each of the Uttara also contributed very well. So that is the way the present things are working. As far as recorded things, that let's see how Ratnik I can see where you mentioned in the video that this was the topic or these were things discussed in that particular video. That is the best we can do. What else can we do? Parayan, that format has still not yet been frozen. Maybe in the next Shibir, perhaps we may again take it up.
Say, for example, like we are reading Essence of Religion, so 1 to 5 pages, it is mentioned in the video. That is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but we have not taken up that type of reading on a
Yeah.
large scale. We did make a beginning. We did make a beginning in the previous Shibir. Let us see how we can improve upon it.
Yeah, so you have seen that in the, it was very good, the Shivir, that when collectively our Putras come together, it brings very good result. But when it is separately, so then it is, I mean, our Putras put a lot of effort, but we are not able to follow them, properly. That is the thing.
And let us see how we can improve. Anything you want to add, Nivar?
No, I think when I took notes as the topic goes, and if there is any specific stuff, I put it down. But like you said, Pulinanandji, we started in the beginning. We were saying that we're doing Aptaputra, Aptavani. Then I would say Aptavani one, whatever. Maybe not page number. We were doing it as we go along. The questions I try to put questions and do put that on the description what was talked about. So that's the best we can do. But if there's a specific reference, I can pick it up, but that's only while we are talking. And like you said, Pulinanandji, we have not done a structure, say, okay, we'll read 10 pages of this or that, and then then we can write it down. Just like, the heading today is separation, because that's what we decided. So I would start with that separation, and then whatever other topics come, I try to add it as we go along. That's the only thing I can do right now.
Yeah, I don't know whether Deepakanand can give any point.
What I was saying is that separation, if we cannot see something what is written in that, what if it is we put according to a book, we can see what is written. So that
Only thing, Kashyap, I can ask you, please, if you want to jot it down and send it to me, I can add it in the description afterwards. If you want to add something, I can always add it up. Deepakanandji?
Hey, Satchidanand. See, our idea of this satsang is wherever you get stuck, we are there behind you to support. So all that homework needs to be done by you. And it's like while we are reading, you cannot be thinking and analyzing or what do you say? So it is not possible in a way. We have noticed that. So best thing is you do your homework, and wherever you get stuck, you get it clarified. I believe that's the best way, because while we are reading at that time, many times people are not focused. They're not listening also to what is being read. The best thing is you read. Maybe if you don't understand, you read it twice, thrice. And then if you don't understand, come to Zoom and ask that particular question. I believe that is the best way.
But is it not being followed in Parayan?
That's what. We don't want to do Parayan here. Because Parayan is what you are supposed to do yourself. Parayan is not common like this. That if you don't understand, then you think about it, you read it again, and then if you don't get it, then you come and ask on Zoom.
Okay, but what I was trying is, if it is easily searchable, then you can see what are the options.
Because it's like everyone will do his or her homework, and wherever they get stuck, wherever they don't understand, then they can come and get an explanation about it. I believe that is better. Because then whatever homework you have to do, you want to do, you can do it, you read it several times, and still if you don't understand, then you get it clarified.
Yeah.
Kashyap, if you want to do write something up, send it to me, I can add afterwards, but that's the maximum we can do. But like Deepakanji say, Mahatma has to take some burden of doing all this stuff.
No, but
That is one more thing.
Yeah.
One more thing, when there are 12, 15, 20 people, everyone, they have to do their own homework. And everyone has their own, I will say, agenda of studying and understanding Dada science. So let them go through any literature, any satsang, and wherever they don't understand, then they come here and clarify.
They can do their own, but only the thing, it will be easily searchable. Like this, it is not easily searchable, means they can still do their homework, means the book, for example, Essence of Religion, 1 to 5 pages. Everyone can do their own homework, reading at home also. They can do.
Dr. Kashyapji, I understand your concern, but this is not like any academic session. This is satsang. So satsang, it is not like academic that you go in a systematic way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what is my understanding.
Yeah.
Okay, I think
everyone do their homework, and wherever they get, go ahead.
I think Kashyap, we will not solve it here. And you heard the Aptaputras, and it's, if Mahatma has to refer something for asking a question to Aptaputra, that can be jotted down. But other than that, it is not possible to do whatever. Like you said, when people are talking, they have an incident they want to discuss. It's not any in their books. Okay, so what reference we're going to put it? Just like we have right now. Yeah.
Rajendra, one more thing I will say, like because of Dada's Krupa, anytime any question is asked from any reference, to the best of my understanding, Aptaputra has given a wonderful explanation without any reference. They don't even say, no, I will have to read the whole article. So that's the best part. So let Mahatmas do their homework in detail, and wherever they want any further clarification, they can always come on Zoom and ask Aptaputra, or you can even call them personally. Jai Sachidanand.
Okay, Jai Sachidanand. I think we have talked enough. Go ahead, Pulinanandji.
And I think that Dr. Kashyapji, you are already doing that. You are already reading and bringing references for topic wise. So this is the best for you, na? You're reading, you're getting a clarification. You note it down in your book that this is the question I asked on this date on this topic. So if you want to refer, you always have your own personal reference, no? Under the scenario, this is the way it might help you. It might help.
Yeah, I'm trying, but it's a big challenge, I'm trying my best, but it's still a big challenge. That's what I felt I told you. So you may not easily searchable. That's what I feel.
Please, you may read on your own in a structured manner, whichever book you want, and whatever places you are stuck up, you may ask, and then you note it down. Okay, on this day, this topic was discussed.
I felt is that videos are not easily searchable. What we discuss is not easily searchable. To find it, it's like finding a pin in a haystack. So it is not easily searchable. This is what I felt. So then you can.
No, the videos are identified by date, identified by Aptaputras. Okay, I mean that's the best searchable things we are doing. So it is by date and by Aptaputras. Okay.
The only thing what I am trying to do is right now I myself write down what I asked and what date I asked, the video link, etc. I do that myself because it is not easily searchable. Videos are not easily searchable. So this is a fact. So you can see the limitations may be there, but this is a fact that videos are not easily searchable.
I will like to add one more thing. If Aptaputra has explained to a particular Mahatma, and then if you are asking the same question, the answer could be very different. And if you try to listen to someone else's question and answer, there could be many questions that may arise within you, and you may want to ask further. Do you understand that? So the best part is you do your homework and ask for yourself.
Yeah, I try my best.
Right? And of course, you are doing that. But this is what I understand.
Yeah.
Many things will get clarified if someone else has asked, but maybe more clarification would be required. So you don't have to give any further reference that in that satsang you said, because that maybe has taken place maybe 2 years back. So best thing is you study, you observe, and you analyze, and if you have, any queries, then
yeah, I do the notings myself now.
No, Aptaputra has said, no, I'll have to refer and I'll get back to you. They have answered instantly. I consider that as only.
Right. Okay.
Right?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Jai Sachidan. Anybody wants to have a 3 weeks gap, any separation experience? Otherwise, we will ask Aptaputra's. Pulinanandji, you did a wonderful, you and Aptaputra did a wonderful weekend. So if you can just summarize how it went, what it went, and Deepakanandji can do the same thing. So that will give an idea. I had a chance to not view all the. I've just done the highlights main sessions, so I need to go back and do more. So, but if you can, your perspective from the Sibiu, Pulinanandji?
Yeah. First was the theme that decided. We said we go deep into now columns. Then we had divided the columns 3 per day into 3 days. And the format that was decided was that there will be general satsang where the first column or the particular column would be discussed by during the time frame how many Aptaputras could manage, 3, 4, or 2, 3. And then the balance clarification or question answer, we had left it in the individual group satsangs. In the individual groups, the Aptaputras were divided and people could ask their further queries on that same column. So it was a combination of a general satsang as well as individual satsangs. And it did go well, where people had a reasonable chance to ask their queries. And all Aptaputras had a chance to express whatever thoughts they have got in the individual satsangs. So we had about 7 group satsang. The groups were divided into 7 age-wise. And every day, Aptaputras will be divided into the groups and question answers would take place over there. The main briefing of the Kalam or introduction to the Kalam, understanding of the Kalam was in the common sessions. And individual Aptaputras were question answers in the individual this thing. So that was the format where every Aptaputra would express their viewpoints. And Aptaputras were all very reasonably, all very well prepared because they knew it in advance that on which day, which satsang or which kalam would be discussed. So everybody had collected all their thoughts and experiences and whatever they had heard from Dada Bhagwan. And very well, everybody could put their thoughts into it in the common satsangs. So that way it went very well. A lot of divine grace was there. Weather-wise also, it was supporting, and the environment also was very, very nice. Entirely Shuddh and things like that in the general hall. So the idea was, although people were doing now columns, there was a lot of depth into it. And some terms, perhaps they may have not understood the gravity of the terms or the importance of the terms, like avarnavad, aprada, vinay, then na karay, na karavay, karta pratyena, anumoday. So the idea was to bring that out and share it with the people, that each and every word of the kalam has so much of importance and how it can help us advance in our path towards moksha, how it can help us to advance in enhancing our Jagrati. And that was the whole thing. Why is it no kalam is so very important and supportive to the five agnas? Essential and primary purusharth for all Mahatmas is the five agnas. But since a lot of discharge prakriti still remains for be clarified, how to how to how to purify that prakriti, or how to manage the discharge kashayas and discharge modes. That is where now kalmos are very, very helpful. And how they are helpful, how it will have work, which word means what, was the entire purpose. And Dada Bhagwan himself did this, and for 30-40 years. And at the end of it, his entire prakriti was so pure, and the whole thing got unveiled, and the pure soul unveiled itself in 1958. So if that happened with Dada Bhagwan, that is also the roadmap for all Mahatmas. So, to bring out the importance of that, this is the purpose. And at the end, in the last session of the third day, 4 to 6 slot, there at the end, we try to summarize what are the advantages of doing Navakalma and how it can help us, the benefits, which is also reflected in that write-up which was shared, and it is also shared in that PDF format. So once we understand the advantages of it, we understand how to do it, how to ask for the strength, and then how many times which column where, So each Mahatma could tailor-made his individual Purusharth, apart from 9 column recitations individually, but even a specific 2 or 3 columns, which he feels that is necessary for him. His Prakriti is such that this is the thing which keeps on coming up and up. So he could specifically work on 2 or 3 columns specifically for his individual Prakriti and square up or, clean up that Prakriti. So it gave a overall vision and a guided Purusharth, a takeaway that now at home I've understood, I will do this more, and that's how it will help everybody. The other advantage of the entire Shibir was, the topic was that it is useful for Mahatmas as well as it is useful for non-Mahatmas, those who are not initiated in the Gnan. For a layman also, if he is able to understand this and he practices this Kalams or asks for the strength as mentioned in the Kalams, then Dada Bhagwan said that the next birth will be human. This is what I guarantee. And even if he has not taken Gnan, not even met Dada Bhagwan, but he sincerely follows the Naukalam or asks for the strength according to Naukalam, then he will be on the path to Moksha. He will be on the path to Moksha. So Dada Bhagwan has guaranteed that. That means there is a lot of importance and it helps a lot. So far, it has never come out in the, no scripture has brought out this thing. Very simple and a very intensely beneficial Purusharth is what this Naukalma is. So the purpose was to bring about the importance, the usefulness in an individual Mahatma's path to progress. That was the purpose, and I think the purpose was reasonably well served, because it was not this thing, only the Naukalams, but it also added individual Aptaputra's understanding of the Kalams, individual Aptaputra's Purusharth of the Kalams, individual Aptaputra, whatever they heard from Dada Bhagwan about the Kalams. So it was highlighting the Kalams from all perspectives, Dada Bhagwan's, Aptaputra's, and that way it was an enriching experience. And about 50 videos have been recorded in very good quality, audio and video. So it is a very good benchmark for personal swadhyaya of Mahatmas afterwards. So that is the summary of the Shivya.
Okay, very good.
We also gave a write-up of and the advantages, and that's all. Just
very good. Deepakanandji, your thoughts?
Yeah, exactly like this kind of retreat where particular prayer, like Dada Bhagwan's Mandamans, was elaborated in detail, in right perspective, And since it was already planned, so Mahatmas also had their own homework and they had their own questions, and they came with those questions, and those questions were answered in the breakout satsang, individual group wide satsang. So that had it really had a good impact in the sense that it really worked well. So such retreats are always better. Take it to them.
Teacher, I have one question on that one. Two questions in fact. One, we did this before in these sessions. We did 9 column. Now, so what would be the difference? What we did talk here, you did there, and also in the end, I was reading that Dadaji said somewhere that this is the essence of all the religions. So if you can expound on that.
What we did here, and this is almost is the same. There's nothing much here. It is we two Aptaputras elaborating on that individual kalam, and here it was one-on-one even sharing of purushas, where the Mahatmas shared their experiences. That this kalam, this is how it helped me during the week while interacting with so and so and so and so at work or at home. So it did bring about Mahatma's experiences over here and understanding of the kalam. Of course, we did the same way. So as far as understanding of the kalam, there is no difference here or over there. But here, there we had the discussion on individual Mahatma's experiences. There, that was brought out in the individual groups. So that was the only limitation. And essence of all religion is, Dada Bhagwan said that if you make an extract of all the scriptures, then it ultimately boils down to no kalam. I'm reading Gita, for example, and Lord Krishna has said this, 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 this. So individually summarize, yes, that if I want to progress on the path of salvation, I need to do this, this, this. The same way as with other scriptures, say for Jain, or maybe Bible, or maybe Quran, or maybe other religions. So ultimately, what all of them are trying to say is, realize yourself, eliminate the inner enemies. As the inner enemies of anger, pride, deceit, and greed eliminate or reduce, diminish, your self-awareness, awareness of your pure self will enhance, and you will be on the path of salvation. This is the key teaching of all religions, put into words by enlightened masters, whatever enlightened masters of that religion have said, which has come in words. That word has come in the form of scriptures in the book, Bible, Quran, Gita, Jain Agams, etc. So, ultimately, after listening to the Lord, what is it that I have to do so that I may advance spiritually on the path of salvation? That is covered up in the no kalmas. So, my understanding is that essentially, when a person asks strength according to the no kalams, and it increases his awareness on the kalam, that he will not hurt anyone's ego. Syadvad Vani, Syadvad Vartan, and Syadvad Malay. About Tiraskar, Kathor Bhasha, all along, Vishedikar. Now, discharge Prakriti will play its part, which is against the no kalma. But by asking for strength of the no kalma, his opinion is changing, that he is not in tune with what the discharge is taking place. He is not in agreement with whatever discharge mind, speech, or actions are taking place. Now that is the key. That is the key highlight of how no kalmas work. Non-concurrence with the discharge that is taking place. Changing of opinion that I don't agree with what's happening in the discharge mind, body, speech. That is the main thing. So the discharge will take place, but you are not in agreement or concurrence. So you are separate and the discharge is separate. You don't become responsible for it. Of course, where required pratikaman has to be done. So that's how the discharge will take place, and you are aligned more and more towards the soul. Now, this changing of the opinion, agreement with the discharge is where it indirectly attacks the four inner enemies. It indirectly works on the four inner enemies and they gradually reduce or diminish, you see. And that is why ultimately in the process of their enemies getting vanquished or getting reduced will lead to spiritual awareness, will lead to spiritual enlightenment for non-seeker, and for Mahatmas, the ultimate, Spasht Vedan and things like that. He may not know that it is, but it does work on his anger, pride, deceit. That is why we can say that it is the essence of all the religions or all the scriptures, because all the spiritual heads of the religions were enlightened persons, and they spoke as much their followers would be able to understand. Lord Jesus, for example, Lord Jesus spoke as much as he felt that this is the capacity of the followers. They can understand. The persons who came in touch with him. Same with everybody. Jain, Vedant, say Gita, everything. Lord Krishna spoke to Arjun to the extent that was needed at that point of time. So, although they had the full vision, they have expressed according to the development of the people who are following them. As we all know that every human being has a different level of development, spiritual development. So if you go from an African to American, a European, and finally to India, his Kashayas or inner enemies are very low or less opened up, in the lower state. And then they are in full form or full play in the Indians. So as that increases, his awareness increases, his development increases, and because the development of each individual in that aspect is different, so they need tailor-made guidance for spiritual advancement, which the individual spiritual masters of individual religions did at that point of time, respective points of time. Like if it were the fourth era, then Lord Mahavir, if he were there, were to be present, he would be saying, based on his vision, based on the people who came in contact with him. Now, till the fourth era, till Lord Mahavir, the times were very different, the era was very different, and things were not so bad as it is now. Living was not so hard, earning money and earning a livelihood was not so much, friction was not so high among people, and things were reasonably okay. But now in the fifth era, where hardships increase, friction increases, mismatch of viewpoints is at on the heightened level, Vishek is on the heightened level. In such era, how do I uplift people? How do I uplift people and see to it that they advance on the spiritual path? That was the thing that Dada Bhagwan had. And he ultimately found that the Kramik mark will not work, and he went into the Akram path by first making them realize their own self and then take care of the discharge Prakriti. So in these hard times, where people are full of the inner enemies, how can they progress? So Dada Bhagwan, through his satsangs, brought about very simple, in a very simple manner, all the tough concepts of the spiritual scriptures. And he said, just adjust everywhere. The sufferers at fault. Five agnas, of course, that Vyavasthit is the doer and do Sambhava Nikal. So where people are so much tied up financially, some people cannot even make two ends meet financially to meet the requirements of the family. So the other said, aniti sinitika, do little bit of corruption, but in a boundary, in a set, that nothing beyond that. He has diluted the standards where the clash or inner friction does not take place just for the small thing. Niyamti aniti, that is what Dada Bhagwan said. So Dada Bhagwan has given very, very practical solutions, not theoretical, very practical solutions which can be practiced or put into understanding in the present era, that there are a lot of more of hardships and less of comfort, પ્રતિકૂળ સંયોગ વધારે છે અને અનુકૂળ સંયોગ ઓછા છે. So that is the beauty of Dada Bhagwan. And all that came around in parts and pieces. Even this no kalam, Vasudev, our Mahatma, was the Nimit. And he said, Dada, how did the Gnan unveil in you? How did your pure soul unveil? He said, but natural. So Vasudeva asked him, but why is it not happening but natural with me if it's happening with you? Then Dada Bhagwan said, okay, write down. And then all those 9 kalams he wrote down, and that's how 9 kalams came out. Dada was practicing it within himself, but then it came out for the public. And in fact, he was practicing 14 kalams, but he said 5 kalams are not possible for the present people. So I am only giving 9 kalams, which is practically possible. So even this Namaskar Vidhi, it came out in parts and pieces. And then all that got collated in a structured manner. So the beauty is that all Mahatmas or Moksha can do it with their discharged prakrutis, which is not a very qualified for moksha. That's it. None of you are qualified for moksha. To get into engineering, medical, you need some amount of percentage marks. You don't even have those much qualification. But still, I'm giving you because of your punya that you wanted to go to moksha without any tyag or without giving up, renouncing the worldly life. So that's how it has come out. And that's how, I think that's how it is essence of all the religions. The crux, all spiritual masters are trying to preach others. And ultimately what Purusha to do, then that's this Purusha. So that is how I feel Dada Bhagwan has said. That's the essence of all religions. Jai Satchidanand.
Deepakanandji, your thoughts, then we'll take questions from Lalita Ben.
Yeah, Jai Satchidanand. As Dada Bhagwan has said, that the outcome of these 9 diamonds, now Kalama, and the 5 Agnas, is generations of effort in the path of liberation, the Moksha mark. And that's how he could encompass all religions. And in fact, as per what he had said, he has followed every religion and spent his lives. And the outcome of that wandering, he said, because his idea was to understand the life and the science of living. And of course, finally, science of liberation. So, cause of wandering and science of liberation. He found out that what every religion is saying, and then in common, he extracted these 9 kalams, which was superimposed by his own flaws, for which he added those, I will say, codes for himself. Like he had said that originally there were 14 in number, but he said that those 5 were in particular for himself. His nature. So in common gave these 9 diamonds, and it was wonderful. And what a fantastic statement he made, that any individual who do these 9 diamonds, at least he will save his human life. He will come back to humanity. His life and living is such that people are going to wander. And if that feeling is very deep-rooted and intense, that person will come across an enlightened soul, Gnani Purush, and will get this path of liberation and get liberated also. Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand. Okay, Lalita Ben.
Yes, Jai Satchidanand, Pulinanandji and Deepakanandji. My question is, does one's Kashayas have to be full-blown, fully developed before one can cross that to get to moksha? I mean, Dada said we have this, that the Indian Prakriti is different because it has all this fully developed. Is that a requirement that Kashayas have to be fully developed? You can't be a little simple and access moksha.
Deepakanji,
We can't hear you.
Deepakanji, we can unmute.
The idea is this science of liberation as Aptaputra stepless path to liberation was specifically opened and is eligible for those who are at the last 50,000 layer of humanity. As Dada has said, there is 1,400,000 different layers of development. And then the last 50,000, when someone is there in those last 50,000, can you mute Meera, please? Yeah.
Okay.
So when someone is in the last 50,000 block, he says he naturally comes across Agnani Purus and gets this wisdom of knowledge. So obviously, people who are highest in their weaknesses, so highest level of passion, anger, pride, possessiveness, greed, likes and dislikes are there. Definitely, they have reached this level because in the attempt to find peace and happiness, they have done several things. And the outcome was they ended up in, throwing their weaknesses. So when they are reached, so now they have gone everywhere and now they are only seeking liberation and that's it, nothing else. And that's how one come across Agnani Purus like this and such a path. Jai Satchidananda.
Pulinanandji?
Yeah.
Requirement.
Yeah. So you see, as he said, that Kashayas are developed, so the suffering also is developed, and that will make his intention to be free from the suffering more strong. And then he intensely desire that I want to be liberated from all the suffering, which means and to attain moksha. The intent is to be freed from this worldly life or to be freed from the cycles of birth and death has to increase. Na? One must be propelled that yes, that is, true happiness is not there in this body or in this worldly life or in the five senses. True happiness is not there, happiness is somewhere else. Now, the more the intense that desire is ignited, more will be his seeking and more will he be. So that is, it becomes necessary for those Kashayas to erupt, because as long as Kashayas are not there, he is very happy with the present.
You're right.
Circumstances.
Dada says, "खा खा के तुम मेरे पास आओगे."
So that is one thing, intensity, this thing. And you see, basically, this body and the pure soul are linked with each other based on Ragdvesh or based on Krodh Maya. Delinking has to happen only when those are eliminated. And the elimination will take place as long elimination only and only take place if I come to know about it. Na? If the know about that this kachra is there within me, this is there within me, only then will he be able to eliminate them. Na?
Yes.
You know, in India, I don't know what's there abroad, but in India, during Diwali, we do a lot of house cleaning. The entire house is cleansed, washed, and all that. We remove, we shift the furniture and broom across all the corners and all that stuff. Now, only when that furniture or sofa or bed is moved, you find, this coin is there, this pen is there, and this kachra is there. If I see it, I'm going to remove it. So unless I see the Kashayas, I'm not able to. They will lie dormant somewhere down. They have to come up, they have to prop up, they have to come in my vision, and then only be eliminated.
Okay.
That is why it is necessary for Kashayas to develop, because how will I remove something unless I see the impurity? Unless I see the impurity, I cannot remove it.
Yes.
Same thing, had happened with Gautam Swami, the principal of the Mahavir Lord Mahavir, principal disciple of Lord Mahavir. Yes, his speech would ignite Keval Gnan in his followers, advanced, but Gnan was stuck up. And then Lord Mahavir realized, why is his Keval Gnan stuck up? Because he has intense rag for me, intense rag for, and now because of which his final Keval Gnan was stuck up. Had rag for Lord Mahavir, he at the end did this trick, of sending him away from him on the pretext of preaching someone, and then he passed away. That is, Lord Mahavir left his body, and at that time, Gautam Swami realized, oh, my rag was there, so I was stuck up. And the moment he realized that, he attended Keval.
Yes.
So see, the rag, dvesh, basically, and if you expand them, is krodhman, my lord. So even Lord Mahavir realized that he's stuck of rag. For us, it is all dvesh, more of dvesh and less of rag. But so those have to be eliminated. Now, until and unless Gautam Swami did not realize by himself that his rag is a hindrance for his Gnan, he could not. But Lord Mahavir made it prop up in front of him that, okay, see, this is your rag which is blocking you. So same thing for all of us. It was come in our vision, as simple as that. But Indians are developed because they believe in rebirth. So for them, it is faster and easier because they are already developed. Whether you are in India or over there, that is your choice. But these Kashayas have to prop up in front of you.
Oh, definitely.
What happens is in India, situations are such that hardships are so that they will pop up left, right, and center in daily life. Whereas in foreign countries, in America and all, there is a lot of ease of living. There's no hardship. You go to the bank, things are executed very well. You go to the grocery, things are executed there. Here there is line, hardship, mismatch of viewpoints, left, right, and center. So they pop up very fast. There they will not pop up. You see, I sound very good and nice, but who am I really will come when I'm caught in adverse circumstances. Then really I have my anger, pride or not will pop up. You see.
Yes.
Manifestation of the Kashayas will not take place in comfortable situations. They will be manifest only in adverse situations.
Adjust over
in India as compared to America. That's all.
Yes, no, you're right, 100% right. The adjustment level one has to go through in India is much more just like you said, just daily activities. It's just at a higher level than it is over here. And also the prakritis, you have to adjust to those prakritis, and it's a much harder, like you said, it's harder but easier to do it in India than to do it overseas.
Because there you are living and dealing with people who are lower down in the spiritual development. The Americans, Africans, all those are not spiritually evolved. So they are very straightforward, easy people. Here you are dealing with people who have heightened Krodhman Mahalo. So that's where the challenge is.
Yes. I remember an incident when my in-laws were immigrating here. They had to, those days people didn't register their births. So they went to get a certificate saying that they don't have a birth certificate. And the person at the registry said, what kind of a certificate is that you don't have one? Aisa kaisa kaun puchta hai, So that is Indian thinking, Like, give me a certificate that I'm not registered is not enough.
You're right. It's like this, in very simple analogy is that if I want to build up my body and muscles, I need to go to a gym. So I need an environment which will give me that. So you need an environment which will develop your spiritual this thing. That's here.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand. Kashyap?
Yes, there is in the Apmani 13 Purvarth, there is a line, Paristiti na malik che et honso khai. There is no English one translation for this. I can only share if you want. Should I share?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, this is the Apwani 13. The Parinam Matra Khari Pade Gyani ne. So you can see page number 481. This is what you can read.
Hold it for a while to read. You keep it moving. The heading.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
પરિણામ માત્ર ખડી પડે જ્ઞાનીને. જ્ઞાની પુરુષ ઠોંસા ખાય એટલે ખાંસવું છે, કેવી ઉધરસ ખાય છે અને તે અમને મજા આવે છે કે કેવું પડે. પ્રશ્ન, એટલે આ ઠોસા ખાનારા જ્ઞાની પુરુષ કોણ અને મજા કરનારા અમે કોણ? દાદાશ્રી, ઠોસા ખાનારા જ્ઞાની પુરુષ મજા કરનારી પ્રજ્ઞા. પરિસ્થિતિના માલિક છે એ ઠોસા ખાય. પરિસ્થિતિ શબ્દ વાપરવા જેવો છે. So what is your question?
What is Paristiti na Malik? I would like.
Paristiti na Malik, Paristiti and circumstances of the situation.
Yeah.
In this case, the file number 1 is coughing, that way. And and Paristiti na Malik, he feels that I'm coughing. The discharge ahankar. So the discharge ahankar who feels I'm coughing is the owner and who is doing it. So the Ambalal AM.
What about that particular circumstance? That is what they are.
Particular circumstance.
Okay. One more, if I would like, one sutra I would like to ask when it's over. Rajniji, Deepakanandji wants to respond.
Deepakanandji, unmute.
Circumstances, paristiti is related to the body self and not my inner enlightened state. So that's how it is referred to as paristiti ke malik dosa khate hai, taklif mein aate hai. That which is free from circumstances never get affected by circumstances.
One sutra it came, thanks for that. One sutra it came, yes to moksha and no to sansar, So exactly what is the meaning I didn't understand, Can you please explain?
Where is the sutra?
Yeah, this is the sutra. Yes, it is many times it was discussed. Hathi moksha nathi.
Fine. Actually, I got it. Doctor.
Yeah.
See, saying yes means accepting a situation, accepting a circumstance that you come across. And if you say no, then something which has happened naturally as coming together of circumstances, you are not accepting it by saying no. Then your first step itself is wrong. Then the outcome of that is going to be a disaster only and nothing else, failure.
No.
So that's why it is said, if you don't accept the situation and act appropriately, you're going to go into eternity. You're going to wander. But if you accept it and handle it amicably, then you will attain moksha.
Means you are saying that no means to no, saying no to the not accepting the circumstance. That is what.
Correct. Exactly. Not accepting what has happened.
Means that is a vyavasthit sakti. Means not accepting the vyavasthit. That is in that sense it is said.
What not accepted by vyavasthit?
Means they are not accepting the vyavasthit shakti because vyavasthit shakti.
No, but people don't know that. Na? We are unaware. That's why it is said, even if you consider all happening as God's gift, then you will accept the situation and whatever outcome you come across, that is amicable, happiness or unhappiness, you will accept that as God's gift only.
Means
But that is not
applicable. This is applicable even for non-Mahatmas, you are saying, right?
This is in general.
Yeah.
Of course, there is one thing, if Mahatmas don't accept situations, then Mahatma is not going to get away with the situation amicably.
Yeah.
Because he is considering the situation itself, the person involved in the situation at fault, which is absolutely against natural happening.
Mahatma.
The very fact that you come across a situation shows your mistake,
Yeah, Mahatma.
due to which you are suffering.
Mahatma, if they don't say, that means they have broken the Agna that time.
Yeah, that's why it is given as Agna to us, as a precept.
And non-Mahatmas in general, if they don't, they have to know that means they are not positive.
For them, it is difficult to accept because everything that is good is acceptable to them, but whatever is not amicable or not happiness, then they revolt. They don't accept and they fight for their right.
Okay.
That's why ignorant person, even in his or her sleep, they bind new karma. Even if they are doing good, they are causing meritorious karma. Otherwise, they are causing bad deeds.
Yeah, Rajni, if you want, I would search the thing, Sutra number, if that, and I will send you what the you can say.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand. You want to add something to that, or?
Understood the essence, Hati Moksha Nati Bandhan. It's the same thing. It's absolutely the same thing, accepting the circumstances as they are, without being judgmental, so that you avoid clash or conflicts, so that you avoid Krodman Malo. That is the essence. By accepting things they are, without getting into friction or getting Kashayas, if you do so, that is saying yes or ha, and then it will lead to moksha. Because essentially you're squaring off the Kashayas or the inner enemies. And Nati Bandhan, yani if you don't accept the situations and go according to your viewpoint, someone says, please do this. And say, no, I will not do this like this because that is my viewpoint, my potapanu. So then that will create ragdvesh, friction or clash. And that will lead to further karmas for new person, or it will lead to pending of karmas for a Mahatma. But if you say yes and accept it, then that discharge has come and it has given its effect and it has gone away. So that is how Hati Moksha Nati Bandhan. Liberation by saying yes and bondage by saying no. So that's the essence of that sutra. Jai Satchidanand.
Okay. Now, we come to the end. So, Pulinanandji, Deepakanandji, what do we do to next? There's not too much questions Mahatmas are asking.
I don't know. Let's see. They can ask whatever they feel they need for their personal advancement or any experience they want to share or something. Anything Deepakanand wants to add?
Deepakanandji?
Jai Satchidanand, what if we focus on home relations, settling accounts with home relations, nearby relations, and for us, Mahatma, we interact so much with Mahatma. So if we focus on that, I believe that would be very practical situations which we come across day-to-day basis, and of course, solution to those problems and question also will definitely arise. Why am I not able to handle this situation, particularly with spouse or with children or with elders, like that? What do you think, Pulinanandji?
Okay.
Mahatma, you think we can work on that and have some questions? Mahatma, please unmute, provide your input.
Even I believe that's our day-to-day burning problem. We are not able to settle things amicably, and it ends up in flaring up the situation, damaging the relation, and whatnot. Jai Satchidanand.
Lalit. Araben,
Yeah, I think Jai
Mustafa.
Sachidanand Pulinanandji, Jai Sachidanand Deepakanandji, Jai Sachidanand Mahatmas. Yes, I think it's very practical because that is what we face on a day-to-day basis. People around us when we go out and people, that's the main thing. That's the basic important hurdle that we have to, and we learn more about the file one only by interacting and all our kashayas and all it comes out. So I think, yeah, let us, we will, I think it's a very good idea to go over this next week.
Okay, very good. I hope
Satyadana,
everybody
we can also include our own body self issues, because I'm not happy with my own mind. I'm not happy with my own body. I'm not happy with my own outlook.
Yes.
There's so many things. Happy with my body color. I'm not happy with my sickness. I can't handle my sickness. There's so many issues, personal issues, individual issues. So we can bring that also. Jai Sachidanand.
Yeah.
Okay. Matmao, everybody thinks okay?
Yes.
And okay, very good. Okay, Deepakanji, can you do 3 mantra, please?
Yeah, sure.
Everybody follow.
Namo Vitragai.
Namo
Vitragai.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo
Arihantanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo
Siddhanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo
Ayariyanam.
Namo Vajjayanam.
Namo
Vajjayanam.
Namo Loe Savasahunam.
Namo
Eso Panchanamukaro.
Eso
Panchanamukaro.
Savvapavapranasano.
Savvapavapranasano.
Mangalanam cha Savvesim.
Mangalam cha Sarvesam.
Padamam Havai Mangalam.
Paramam Avai Mangalam.
Mangalam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om
Namah Shivaya.
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai
Sachidanand.
Deepakanji,
Jai Sachidanand Dr. Lalita ji. Jai Sachidanand Dr. Lalita Ben. Jai Sachidanand Lata Ben. Shailia ji. Jai Sachidanand.
Sachidanand.
Jai
Jai
Sachidanand.
Sachidanand, everybody.